Hello BabyQueers and welcome back to my channel. It is time for some neurodivergent memes again. So, I hope you had your tea or your water. If not, go get hydrated. And then we'll get started. You hydrated? Good. Let's go. The argument in my head versus what I end up actually saying. Well, it's still a horse. It's still a horse. You apparently didn't get that much off topic, which is surprising. But the word vomit, see, I still can't say it. The word vomit is real. And it's always less articulate. And I especially struggle if I have to articulate in German, because that's even worse, trust me. Neurotypical, laughing at my joke. Me, who was just being honest. Why did this happen so much? I figured out at some point that I'm probably just rude. Because I kind of make observations that most people consider rude, but they usually just think I'm joking. So, that's cool. If you want to calm me down, you gotta get past these bad boys first. Trauma, anxiety, obsessive self-doubt, and my recently diagnosed ASD. Good luck. Good luck. Because literally, if someone tells me to calm down, I'm just gonna look at them or start laughing. But I'm probably just going to look at them like a broken car or something. Neurodiversity, the medication. Is this breakfast? Anyone else get told by the doctor that they should probably eat something before taking the medication? Although mine just said that for mine, a lot of people get like an upset stomach if they don't. But my stomach's pretty chill like that, and I can take them without breakfast, but that reminds me, I haven't taken them in like 2 or 3 weeks. Oh well. My ass be ass, oversharing with random people. Is this socializing? Well, I mean, you're interacting with other people. So in a way, it does count as socializing. I think it counts. I think you're fine. When someone asks you how you're doing and you have to analyze if it's real interest or small talk and how you actually feel, visible confusion. Because literally, most people just mean it as small talk, so my auto response is just, oh fine, thank you, and you? But then, sometimes people look at you and it's like, you sure though? Sometimes that's just because my face, like my resting face, is just kind of, I don't know if I look pissed or sad, but apparently I look something. I look like something. I don't know. But we love small talk. Trying to overcome loneliness with dating be like, come closer. Not that close. Fair. I was a little bit thrown by the meme format being used like this, but personal space, you know? Like, especially if you don't know someone well. I hate it when people I don't know well are in my personal space. Don't do it. But, yeah, it can be difficult. I think dating can probably be tricky for anyone, but good luck. Is there a neurodivergent dating app yet? Is there? Did it hurt when you majored in psychology while struggling with mental illness? I know this isn't specifically neurodivergent, but isn't it kind of the trope that all psychologists and psychiatrists and people like that all struggle with mental illness anyways? Isn't that the case? Or is it just something we made up? But honestly, those are the people that are most interested in psychology, really. So Okay, now someone posted a rant of theirs. So, I'm starving, but the only thing in the freezer that sounds good is a French bread pizza. And the best way for me to make the French bread pizza will be in the toast oven, but it's in the cabinet and the counter space that I could put it on are dirty. So I feel like I need to scrub down the counter wherever I'm going to put it, because I won't put it back in the cupboard and I won't clean the counter underneath of it. And it'll just get dirty over time, so I am not doing any of that and I'm just sitting here hungry. Lol. It's too many steps, okay? It's too many steps. Because you don't want stuff to be dirty. And cleaning it is already a lot of effort. But then if you add extra steps to it, because you're technically just hungry and want to make something to eat, and then you're just sitting there because it's too many steps, and your brain's just like, I know you're hungry, but sorry about it, just deal with it. Okay, I'ma clean my room. Me after 20 minutes. Damn, I forgot I had these. I mean, literally, that always happened. But I think this might actually literally be one of the human things as well. That's probably just way more intense in people with like ADHD or something. Or with autism. If you find something from your special interest that you didn't know you had anymore, or if you find something that used to be a special interest and it just re-sparks, good luck finishing cleaning your room. That's just gonna take a while. Me, stimming, rejection sensitive dysphoria. Okay, listen. I don't know if you're neurodivergent and watching this, you probably know what rejection sensitive dysphoria is, because it's basically not really a fear, but you're always just kind of expecting rejection, really. Like anything that sounds slightly negative, like if someone's just in a bad mood, it's kind of easy to take that as rejection and be hurt by it. And somehow, if you know you have rejection sensitive dysphoria, it gets a little bit better, because now when I find myself being like, oh, they didn't sound positive, or they didn't sound like totally positively overwhelmed with something I did, maybe they were just busy and I'm not just hurt by it. Like for a second, sure, that comes up, but then I'm just like, okay, no, it's fine. But listen, I'm just gonna call it fear of rejection, like especially when you're in public and get judgy looks like constantly for stimming. That's kind of hard to deal with, because then it's not just like one person, because if it's someone you're close to, then you know they really don't actually mean it. But in public, you don't know who's around. Or even like if you're at work or something and there are like a lot of other people and you don't really know what they're actually like, and it can be hard to deal with. I hope I made some sense. That ramble seemed like it made no sense, but I hope it made sense. When people come home from work, I think there should be a 1 hour minimum of no talking. Decompress, relax, and we'll chat later. Yes, please. Also, no calling people in the first half hour at work. Literally, yesterday, as soon as I had logged in my phone, it rang. Literally, don't do it. Don't do it. Especially if you want to complain about something. Literally, that shit can wait half an hour. It's not that urgent. If it's super urgent, sure. But it usually isn't. Guys, pull it together. Give people some space to arrive at work. And more importantly, give people the space to decompress after work, because otherwise we're all going to lose our minds. If I had to name all the Pokemon, I could do it. So why can't I even hold a conversation properly? Because most people don't care enough about your special interest or your hyperfixations for you to have a conversation about that. And literally, interest-based nervous system. Like, if it's not interesting to you, you can't do it. And a lot of people talk about a lot of boring things. So yeah, there you go. I hope this helps. I have more conversations in my head than I do in real life, which is true. Because the constant dialogue, and I'm not the type of person to talk to a lot of people. So the conversations ratio from in my head to real life, for me, it seems pretty good. For other people, it would probably seem like I'm lonely, but it's just weird. 9 a.m. me. I think I roast chicken for dinner, steep some asparagus, and make mashed potatoes. 4:45 p.m. me. Hi, I'd like a large pepperoni pizza for delivery. Listen. Okay, to be fair, I become more productive again at like 9 p.m. But afternoon or like anything after 10 or 11 kind of goes very, very much downhill of things I'm able to do. So, fair. Doing this every night seems like a bad idea though. Video games allow us to do and experience things that are completely impossible in real life. You awaken feeling well rested. I awake feeling what? What? What is this feeling you describe? What is that? I mean, to be fair, I'm one of those people that's like really awake, at least for like 20 minutes after waking up. Which is great, because I can get out of bed immediately when my alarm rings. In fact, I cannot stay in bed. But well rested? No. What is that? ADHD people hearing, just write down everything in a planner, like me. I mean, I'm gonna give neurotypicals the fear of the doubt here. And be like, as long as they mean it well, it's at least a little bit better. But it still always seems judgmental. And it's still very much just misunderstanding how different brains just work different. And to be fair, not even all neurotypical brains work the same. But that's kind of where the human part of just kind of assuming everyone thinks like you comes in again. Oh well. Okay, now we have some pictures that aren't memes, really, but I wanted to include them. Stop shaming autistic people for stimming. Literally, what are you doing? You know it's healthy to stim, right? Well, okay, of course there are like dangerous stims, like if someone like hits themselves too hard or something. Maybe don't. But stimming in and of itself is super healthy. And honestly, very necessary for autistic people. And neurotypicals do it too. But when they do it, when they fidget with a pen or something, it's fine, right? But if you do it constantly or in a weird way, maybe just stop judging people for things that don't affect you. Someone stimming doesn't affect you. Autistic joy is not childish or embarrassing. Yes? Maybe stop comparing all autistic people to children and being like, oh, their interests are childish, or the way they express their happiness is childish, because literally someone being really excited and flapping their arms just makes me happy to see, because I know they're happy. Because there's a difference between happy hands and angry hands, or like upset hands. And it's very visible. And I don't know how to explain it, but it is very visible. But it's not childish. Literally, what are you doing? Someone being excited in a different way than you. What are you doing? And on that note, stop telling autistic people they're too childish. Literally, even if someone's special interest is something that's normally for children, like My Little Pony. I don't know. That's the first thing I thought of. Literally, I still don't understand judging people for things that make them happy. What is that? Stop doing it. I am a Nature Valley bar. On the outside, I seem put together, a nice little granola bar package, but on the inside, I am crumbling, waiting to disintegrate all over your car. Or the second you come home. Because, yeah, masking is fun, I guess, but on a different note, I think a lot of people think this way. They always think that life seems more put together than it actually is. Because a lot of people have certain issues that are different for everyone, of course, but like everyone kind of has like issues that you don't really see. So I kind of try to remind myself of that. But I'm just like, oh my God, what am I even doing? What am I even doing? I have no idea what I'm doing. But then I'm just like, honestly, apparently I'm still good at pretending, but so are other people. Why is no one ever the right amount of whelmed? Literally. Why am I either so underwhelmed and just bored, but can't get my brain to do anything, or I'm just overwhelmed because I want to do everything, or because it feels like I have to do everything at once? Brain. Please give me the right amount of whelmed. Thank you. Now again, this isn't really neurodivergent specific, but I'm sure a lot of people have at least one of these as their special interest or hyperfixation. But if you're gonna do conspiracy theories, go big or go home. And honestly, normally I can't take this conspiracy theory serious either. But it's at least funny, because it's harmless. I'm not too sensitive. You're just an ableist asshole. Yeah, don't judge people for the stims or keep telling them they're weird or something for something that's because of their neurotype, and then expect them to be nice about it. If someone tells you to fuck off for that, that's not being too sensitive, that's just fair. Mild autism? Nah, my autism's spicy. Well, as someone who likes spicy, congratulations, that's pretty cool. Sensory overload is frustrating, because how am I supposed to explain that I don't want someone near me because I can hear the washing machine beeping, background noise, there's clothes in the wrong places, everyone is too loud, there's dirty dishes, and I can feel my toes too much. Literally. That's why I hate socks. That's why I'm a avoid socks at all costs type of person. Because literally, those I end up feeling my socks way too much, like every time I wear them. So I usually just don't, unless I absolutely have to. So when I have to go out wearing shoes, I'm kind of upset. I miss summer already. But listen, no one gets it, because they're typical people and just being able to drown out background noise. And I can't do that. Like sometimes if I get hyper-focused enough on something, sure. But that usually doesn't happen. So I can just hear everything. Which is also why I'm apparently helpful at work, because sometimes my coworkers ask me like, wait, I wanted to do something, and if I like overheard them talking about it, just because I can hear everything, really, I'm just like, wait, you were talking about this thing earlier, did you mean that? And it's sometimes helpful, but for myself, it's still very frustrating. And I'm amazed at how people apparently don't feel their bodies all the time, or feel their skin all the time, really, because I can feel everything on my skin all the time, and it's kind of annoying. Which reminds me, now I noticed it. Sometimes I can put on long sleeves and it's fine, but usually only for a while. And then at some point I can just feel my forearms and I hate it. So time to roll up the sleeves. When you're in an interview and get asked if you have any questions, but you have none because you're still processing the interviewer's speech. Mild panic. Because, yeah, I can either hit everything. Sometimes, of course, if I just overhear things that I don't even need to hear, it still takes a moment to process. But usually, it takes longer to process, or at least it feels like it's longer, with things you need to understand. Like if someone's talking to you, and your brain just seems like it's lagging a bit at understanding what the person is saying, it's way more frustrating. And especially if it's a new situation or like something important like an interview, the mild panic is fair. When a loved one tries to kiss you, but their perfume is overwhelming. Yeah, this is why I don't wear perfume. Literally. A friend of mine tried to sell me perfume the other day, and I just kept telling her no, because I knew that if I explained to her that it's just overwhelming sensory-wise, she wouldn't understand. She probably would, but I felt like she wouldn't, so I just didn't explain. I just kept saying I don't wear perfume, and I never wear perfume, because I don't. I have perfume, but I don't wear it. Because honestly, yeah, especially if it's like, it can smell good, but it still smells so strong that it's just overwhelming. You know? Autistic me guarding the empty space next to me so no other human takes it and starts brushing up against me or making breathing, snoring, or chewing noises that penetrate my noise-cancelling headphones. That's fair. If I can hear something through my noise-cancelling headphones, it upsets me too much. And also, I hated it when my parents made me sit with them if they ate something but I didn't want to because I just wasn't hungry, or just couldn't bring myself to eat anything that was there. I still had to sit there and listen to the noises. It was literally the worst thing, because then they're just sitting there and they're chewing and they're talking about things I don't care about. Bad combination. Autistic me feeling like a superstar after going off script during a phone call and making the person I'm speaking to laugh. Yeah. That's fair. Sometimes you just have to, because the other person asks weird questions that you weren't prepared for. Because if it's usually something that seems just so obvious to you, so you don't think about that that might be a question that comes up. But then they ask it, and you're kind of caught off guard for it. Anyways, and autistic people enjoying their safe food after skipping 2 meals because the texture wasn't right. Again, that just seems fair. Literally, if you live alone, it's easier because you can just not buy the bad texture foods. You know? And just kind of pick the things you can eat at the moment. So, look forward to that, I guess. You have symptoms of ADHD. Panic. Going to get diagnosed for ADHD. Calm. Your ADHD symptoms are getting in the way of being diagnosed for ADHD. Panic. It's great, isn't it? Having to go to doctors and having to go to several appointments and having to call to make the appointment in the first place. It's amazing. If you're an ADHDer, you struggle not because you're defective or sick or broken or have a medical issue that makes you worse at life, but because society has constructed really unfair standards around you. To be fair, the same thing goes for autistic people because, yeah, everyone who functions differently just doesn't inherently make you a bad person, obviously, and it doesn't make you bad at life. But it makes things harder. So hang in there. I thought I was lazy, but actually I just have ADHD, is ultimately a way of saying I used to think I was broken, but then I discovered the expectations society has placed on me were unfair. That's a really healing realization, but it's also true of all people, including neurotypicals. Yeah, because we like standards that don't make sense and that are just so unfair on so many people. And the whole hustle culture of doing things just seems bad. Because I've also heard of autistic people that made their special interest their career. Which sounds great at first because then you're like really interested and you can always do it. But I also heard of people then burning out because they don't want to stop and then they work like 80 hours a week or something and then they're just burned out. So maybe it works. I hope it works. If you do it, I hope it works. And to finish off, something a little bit more informational. The last two posts kind of count as inspirational, I guess. But the 5 neurodivergent love languages: info dumping, pyral play, support swapping, please crush my soul back into my body, and I found this cool rock button leaf, etc., and I thought you would like it. And explanations for each. Because some have been asking, info dumping, talking about an interest or passion of yours and thus sharing information, usually in detail and at length. Parallel play. Some people call this being alone together, as in when you're both reading your own books in the same room or one person is doing a puzzle while another plays a video game, etc. Just existing together counts too. The best thing ever. Literally the best thing ever. Like, listen, info dumping. When someone is so excited about something and shares it with you and just keeps talking about it because they love it so much, I think that's amazing. I think it's amazing. If it's not something you can get your brain to be interested in at all, I get that it can be annoying, but still. And parallel play, literally, it's the same as with having to have someone in the same room to be able to do something, like something you've been meaning to do, but can't. Support swapping. I don't know if this is a widely used term. I use it to mean when neurodivergent people accommodate or support each other. Like if I remind a friend to hydrate and they ask me if I've taken my meds, or a friend helps me write an email and later I'll help them with homework, etc. Yeah, literally. I mean, of course, every human has different needs and different things they're good at and not so good at and need help with, but yeah, honestly, this for neurodivergent people seems like a very good idea. Because, yeah, sometimes we forget to do the basic things like hydrate or take meds. Which is why I'm the annoying person telling a lot of people they need to drink more water. Please crush my soul back into my body. Deep pressure input good. Provides proprioceptive input and can soothe body stress responses. Always get consent. Yeah, I almost didn't read that part because it's obvious, but yeah, literally, I hate it when people hug me like really softly because that just makes the whole feeling my skin way worse, because then they just kind of like keep rubbing my clothes against my skin in an even worse way than they already are. Don't do it. But like deep pressure hugs, yes, literally so good. I found this cool rock button leaf, etc., and I thought you would like it. Unconventional gift giving, sharing things that are of value or interest of you as a sign of affection, or giving someone a thing you know they're interested in. And sure, memes count. And of course, this is just a funny tweet, not a true guide, but there are an infinite number of ways to give and receive love. Feel free to add on your own personal neurodivergent love languages. Well, isn't the iconic meme one just biting each other? Because it's tempting. Not actually like full on bite someone, obviously, but kind of softly bite someone. Literally, because you wouldn't do that to someone you're not close with, because you don't want them anywhere near you, yet alone in your mouth. So you don't. But if you like really care about someone, it kind of seems like the normal thing to do. But you know that you probably shouldn't do it in public because other people will think it's weird. Yeah. But anyways, if you have more ways you show your affection to people, feel free to leave them in the comments. And I will leave you guys here and see you in 3 days.